Hey, what's going on, dudes and dudettes? It's Pip Surfer with another daily update for the Cowabunga system. Today is Wednesday, March 24th, 2010. Hope y'all are having a great day, and I know it's been a while since I've updated. I was a little sick the past couple days, so I wasn't able to do any kind of updates, but I am back today, and thank you for sticking with it. First things first, if this is your first time watching these videos, then you're going to want to click on the link right above it that says, if this is your first time visiting this blog, read this first. If you click on that link, it's going to give you the rules to the Cowabunga system, and I encourage you to read that and really digest it and absorb the information there. And then once you do that, come back, and these videos are going to make a lot more sense, because otherwise, if you're just walking in here blindly, you're probably going to get lost, because I don't really talk about the rules of the system. Instead, I focus more on the application of the system. So if you have a good foundation of it, it's going to make a lot more sense. So that's just my little disclaimer, so you don't waste the whole 10 minutes watching this video and then scratching your heads wondering what the heck is going on. So but if you are not new to these videos and you are a regular, I just want to welcome you back. Hopefully these videos are helping you out in your trading. Maybe they're creating some ideas in your head. Hopefully they're sparking some insights that you can do with your own trading, and that's really the point of the blog. It's not to give you trades, but more so to kind of help you along your way. So I have opened my 15-minute, my 4-hour chart for the cable. First thing I'm going to do is open up my 4-hour chart, and I'm going to move it back to before midnight so you can see what it looked like. Now we had a downtrend. That was our most recent trend change candle back on the 23rd, which was yesterday, and this was for a downtrend, and since then we haven't had any new trend change candles. So at the start of my day, I'm only looking for short trades. Now if I move my chart forward, you'll see that the trend remained down. There were no new trend change candles during our session, therefore the trend was still down, and we still only look for short trades the entire day. Okay, so it's pretty simple when there's no trend change candles going on in the middle of our trading session, and luckily the market wasn't too choppy today, so that's good. Kind of stayed in one direction, which for traders, that's a good thing, unless you're really good at scalping and going back and forth. But anyway, so now I'm on my 15-minute chart. I moved it back to before midnight, and before I start trading, of course I want to take a look at my news events, and whoops, sorry about that. And if you go to babypips.com, you can click on this tools tab, and it should automatically bring up the news events for the day. However, you should double check it just to be sure. Today is the 24th, and then just make sure this time zone drop down bar is set to your correct time zone. For me right now it's EDT, which is -4 for GMT, and I am looking for news that affects either the UK or the US, because that's the currency pair we're trading. So I'm looking for that under this currency column, and I'm scrolling down, and I see we have USD at 7, but again, that's just MBA mortgage applications. Not really a big deal, so I'm not going to count that as a major news events. However, if you go down at 8:30, we do have durable goods orders, and that is pretty significant, so I'm going to mark that down. And if I continue to scroll down at 10, new home sales, I'm also going to mark that down, because that's pretty significant as well. So I'm just jotting these down in a notepad, and you can do the same thing, or if you want, you can set an alert or some kind of alarm just to let you know when those news events are coming out, because the most important thing we want to know is when they come out so that we can stay out of the markets, because that's part of our rules. Alright, so now that I have my news events handy by my side, I know when they're coming out, and I know that I'm only looking for short trades, I can now begin my day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my chart forward one candle at a time, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my thought process along the way and how I actually apply the Cowabunga system. Now the goal is here to get the discrepancies between what you're seeing and what I'm seeing down to a minimum, so that you are trading and thinking kind of like how I am, only when it comes to the system. You don't want to think like how I think when it comes to other things, because I'm not that bright. So definitely only want to apply it to the Cowabunga system here. Alright, so I'm going to move my chart forward and give you my thought process along the way. So I'm looking for short trades. So right now the moving averages are trending down, so I can't really have a crossover to the downside, so I'm not paying too close attention to the markets at this point. I would have to see a retracement to the upside first. That would only make sense, because you want to see the market cross over to the upside first before you can see a crossover to the downside. So that's really what I'm waiting for, and I haven't seen one yet. Okay, so now here I do get a crossover to the upside. Now what this is telling me is that the market has now retraced. So now I'm starting to pay closer attention to the market because I know I have a better chance to see a crossover back to the downside and re-enter this downtrend that we're seeing. So I am paying closer attention to the market at this point, especially when you see moves like this and it looks like moving averages are about to cross. So we get really close here, and finally we do get a crossover. Now this is at 5 a.m. RSI is below 50, stochastics are trending down, and MACD was positive from the previous candle and is losing value on this candle, so this is a valid entry. Now we don't have any news candles until 8:30, so we are okay at this point. So you can go ahead and enter here. Now you're going to want to enter at the close of this candle or as close to it as possible. In this case it's at 49.65. Your stop's going to be at the most recent swing high, and your target will be at the nearest 0 or 50 level. In this case it's 49.50, so that gives you about 15 pips of potential profit, not including the spread, but it's still above 10 pips, so that's still acceptable for a target. So we'll just continue to watch this, and now I can just move forward and watch my trade and see what happens. So moving forward, and here you can see that my target was hit. Now initially it did make a clean break, so you might have moved your target there, which at any case you would have gotten stopped out anyways, but I did wait a little bit, and I see that the price did not close at my it didn't close past my target, so I went ahead and took my final profit here, and I just went and exited as close to 49.50 as I could. I didn't get quite out at 49.50, but I did get out at the close, which is 49.52. So again, you won't always get out at your exact target, but these are just numbers to keep in mind so that you can watch and see what's happening during this time. Alright, so now I am just marking that in my trade journal, and I am watching the markets continue. And again, I'm waiting for another retracement because I'd have to see a retracement to the upside first before I could even see another place to re-enter. So at this point the market is still moving down, so I'm not seeing anything great here, and it's looking like I'm not going to have any more trades, especially at this point because it's 11 a.m. and I'm really doubtful that I'll see any trades. It's 11:30, so that's pretty much it for my day. So again, one trade, one small win, but again, a win is a win, and just mark that down. Every little bit counts. Remember, we're just trying to stay above water when times are kind of going south for us, when things aren't really going our way. You want to stay above water at this point, and so that when the times when the market's trending really great, then we start to make really good amounts of pips. So hopefully you saw the things that I saw. If not, if you have any questions, again, please don't hesitate to post them in the blog or in the forums, and I'll try my best to answer them as clearly and as best as I can. So that's it for today's update. Hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you all on the next one. Cowabunga, dudes.